Guys, it's me. I'm back.
What's up, party people?
We're like Mads. Come on. All right, this show is taking a turn for the. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Monster Bass Live, which happens to probably be our last show ever. And we're gonna make sure it's a great one. We're gonna break down this month's box. We're gonna give away some stuff. We're gonna take some calls, maybe. And we're even going to talk about some spinnerbaits and buzzbaits that I'm trying to design and maybe get your help. But again, a lot comes down to whether or not you guys decide to call me up on the phone. So we'll see how that goes. It's been an interesting week. Black Friday's over. We had the college football final seedings and pairings, and there was all that drama. And I'll tell you what, I would have paid $29 to watch all the old guys in the boardroom make the decisions for who would be the final four seeds in this. And it would have been so interesting to sit here and listen to the arguments and then realize that half of them are in somebody's back pocket, so it wasn't going to make much of a difference. But listen, we're on a mission to help you catch your PB as you know it, and we'd like to think we give you everything that you need, from the right baits to the right tips and the right motivation, everything, plus the support of you guys at home, to help you go out and crush your personal best. And I'd like to celebrate a few that have been brought to my attention this week. All right. Fixie, you want to put up some people on the screen for me? I would love to congratulate Cody Bitterman, 6-pounder out of Michigan. He caught this on a spinnerbait. Cody's been a member since 2020. Thanks for your support, Cody. Secondly, we've got Jack Little Jr. It's not the picture I thought I was going to see. I expected to see, Little Junior. 5 pounds, 8 ounces on a swim jig. We got Will Markin, 7 pounds, 2 ounces out of Ohio. He was jigging a rubber worm. Interesting. Nick Powderly, 7 pounds, 8 ounces on a chatterbait in Missouri. That's an interesting grab right there. All right, and last but not least, Paris Hilton Jones, 4 pounds, 5 ounces out of Alabama on a small swim bait. Congratulations. He is decked out like a pro. Good on you, little man. Good on you. Start him young. So, all right, we're going to give away a few things today. I want to make sure that we're really clear. Let me make sure I don't mess this up for you guys. I want to see what we're giving away. Raphie's not here, but we're going to save that for when Chris gets on. Golden tickets, as you know, we're gonna give away some golden ticket prizes. So if you've got a golden ticket, put your numbers in the chat. We're gonna pick someone at the end of the show. Golden tickets are going away at the end of this month, so keep that in mind. And then we're gonna figure out who gave the best questions. Rafi's not here, so I think we should go to the best questions. So who's calling in and asking those questions here on our last show ever? And then of course we got 5 Wow. Hold on. Liquid death does it to you every time. We got 5 We got 5 questions with Chris, and hopefully we'll get to that. So, I'm really excited about today's show because Rafi's not here. So let's give a warm welcome to Chris and Mr. Wishiwazfishin. How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm excited. We got no Raphie. We got nobody getting hung up on, I hope. And
no interruptions.
We're gonna treat each other kindly this week. We'll see what happens.
I think I might actually finish a sentence.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. So far.
Yeah, I was gonna say liquid death. I have some around the corner in a box, but I wanted to give a shout out to Nick, the shirtless PB, with that backhanded gangster hold. That's pretty solid. I like that.
That was pretty.
It's a new look.
That was pretty
good.
That was pretty good. So how you been?
Been good. Life's been crazy. You said Black Friday, catching up on the sales, shipping stuff out, and the family's planning to come into town for Christmas. Is your son coming home for Christmas, or are you just avoiding you? What do you got?
Yeah, my son's actually coming home tomorrow, and then we're
Cool.
we're going to see The Grinch That Stole Christmas with his little sister, because his mom's remarried, and so the family's getting together. We're going to Pantages to watch The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Oh, cool.
And that'll be fun, and we'll eat some sushi, and then I'll send him back for his last final exam, and then he's home for a month. It's gonna be great.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, we got my son. The both of them are coming in from Utah. They want to do a surf trip or two, and we got some fun family stuff going on. So, yeah, holidays are rolling through. Excited.
I love that. I love that. I was talking with Fixie earlier because he's about to have a kid, and I figured I'd get him started early, so I took him with me this weekend. Because I'm a scoutmaster, and you're a scoutmaster, and
like
I
20
took him
years.
I took him to the gun range and had him teach the kids some gun safety. And you should have seen the kids. We're like, Fixie brought a 9mm, and I had the kids pick out a 22, and one had like the old cowboy revolver, and the other one wanted a rifle. And you should have seen it was straight up like they offered him like an old-fashioned rifle, one at a time, and then they offered him one that looked like an AR, and it was straight out of a zombie apocalypse. And that kid was like so quick to say, "Give me that gun."
That's awesome. No, I like the scout stories. I got to give credit real quick. I had a scout when I first kind of moved back to this area where we live, and we went on a camping trip. And this kid was always talking about fishing. He's crazy. He's sending me pictures of like these 6-7 pound fish. So he gets all the credit for me diving deep into bass fishing. But the fun story I'll share is we were up camping, and he was just kind of being a little bit of a pest. Always snickering at the other kids, bugging me a little bit. He was throwing rocks at me because I was swimming and training for like a triathlon. So I was swimming laps around this high mountain lake, and he's throwing rocks and kind of being funny. So when we went to leave, I put like a 4-pound rock in his backpack, and we hiked the 6 miles back down to the truck. And I said, "Hey, can you give me my favorite rock you carried?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "In your backpack. I had my favorite rock I found. It's in your backpack." So he pulls it out, and best response ever. The kid just walks over and he goes, "Touche." And that was like best friends from that point on. He's gone on to college. He's an absolute stud, but he gets the credit for getting me into bass fishing, and that memory of the whole scout interaction. Those times are priceless. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So cool. Kudos to you for still doing that and being involved with the scouts. That's a cool project. And I mean, lifetime interactions. I'm now the merit badge counselor for fishing. Imagine that. And
imagine that.
It's cool. We get to have some really cool moments with the kids and teach them some neat life skills. So that's fun.
Totally. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So we got a pretty good box, and it just came today. And so I figured, why not break it down? Why don't we talk about the baits that came in this month's box, and then let's take some calls. Because what I want to hear from you guys, because like I said, this is our last show ever. And the reason why I figured that it should be the last show is that it doesn't seem like anyone's interested in talking with me. And as my therapist says, it doesn't always have to be about me.
Are you personally offended? I mean, we got some eyes on the show. People are getting ready to call in. I think let's throw that number up there. Let's see if they can call. I'm with you. Let's get callers to call in if we can about each bait.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the box. Let's break it down. I think the hotline number's up. Call and talk to Rick. Talk him into staying live, producing the show. Let him know how much we love him. He kind of needs, I think, that seasonal depression setting in. It's Christmas time. He's sad, but let's talk fishing to cheer him up a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we can do. After all, we're only awarding prizes if you call in. So, I mean, it's not like I'm bribing you or anything. All right, so Chris, so when I put together this month's box, I did so thinking about the fact that, all right, depending on where in the country you live and fish, obviously we're facing different conditions. But regardless, for the most part, the weather's getting colder, fish are getting finickier, and it's almost like depending on how that cold front's pushing, depending on the temperature of the water, they could be all over the map. And so I started thinking about the baits. And, most of the time people are like, it's December. I don't always fish. I said, okay, well, let's put together something that you may be really interested in when you see it. And so I wanted to make sure I could get you on fish no matter where in the water column. So the first bait in the box, and again, for everyone at home, your box might be a little bit different because if you're in Florida, I'm in California. So some of these baits will be the same. Some of them could be a little bit different. For the most part, all the hard baits are exactly the same in the boxes. I did that by design, and I'm going to explain that to you. But let's first talk about this month's lead bait. This is from American Snakehead. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I got it. Yeah, that looks. We can see it.
All right. I'll open it up. I'll just rip it open. So I was talking with Bear, the owner of the company. And
so I think first, can I preface?
Yeah, please.
Snakehead. So yeah. I know snakehead fish are gnarly, like they're water dragons. So I don't know if everyone understands the namesake of the brand. That bait is built to handle snakehead fish, and they're the nastiest creatures, super aggressive. They will eat pretty much anything. They're really fun to catch topwater. They destroy baits, but they're a great predator fish. If that bait can handle a snakehead, it's going to be awesome for bass. So I just wanted to preference that it's not just the name, they're targeting species, and it's a predator fish, feeds just like a bass. So keep going what you learn from him, because I'm excited to hear about this bait.
Yeah. So he grew up in Pennsylvania and New Jersey fishing for bass. And then he started coming across snakehead as he got a little bit south. And, they would just tear up the bait that he was fishing. And so he wanted to design his own baits. And I don't want to tell too much of the story because he's going to be on the show I think next week. But he designed.
Wait! We're never having another show. We're never doing this. You can't share the future shows.
If I have a future show, he's going to be on it.
Okay, all right. That sounds better.
Yeah, because at some point it could be just myself and him talking for all I care. Nobody wants to talk to me. All right, so he designed this bait, and I don't know if you can see these. Hold on.
The blades, the hammered blades. Those I want to talk all about those. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Look at those things.
Yeah. So this is a 3/8 ounce Cobra spinnerbait. I believe it's got a mustad hook, and this thing is designed to take abuse from big, angry fish, like you said. And so the first thing I did when I saw this, I got a little nervous. I said, I don't know, it's for snakeheads. And so I sent some to the boys down in Texas, and they were fishing with them, and they're like, no, these things are legit. Like you said, the first thing you notice is these really big blades, and there's a silver and a gold. Fixie's trying to get it there.
Right there. Oh, yeah, that's good. So can we talk about that honeycomb pattern? Yeah,
there? Please. Talk to me, because what I don't know is why.
Okay, so honeycomb, hammered blades add resistance. If you think of the hydrodynamics of water going over a smooth blade, it travels quicker over the smooth blade. So as that honeycomb or hammered, however they're doing it, but his look like a honeycomb hammered, it's causing water basically to slow down when it goes over that blade. So as that blade's spinning, it's creating more drag, which means that's going to suspend the bait. It's going to be able to fish it slower. And wintertime, whether it was accident or by divine design, you have a perfect bait to throw. And I may have known, I say this all the time. Everyone immediately thinks you need this to catch fish in the winter. That bait you're holding is exactly one part of this bait that everyone thinks of in the winter. Take that spinner bait and throw it and let it sink. And now you have those blades that have a ton of resistance, and it's vibrating. It's calling the fish to them in the winter. It's just like that movement we talked about last week with the blade bait. It is vibrating and yelling at the fish, come and eat me. And because of those blades are hammered, it gives more resistance. You can fish it even slower without it hitting the bottom and dragging. It's 3/8 ounce. It's perfect. Just send it, let it sink, and then just tick the bottom. And because those blades have that extra drag, it'll just stay right off the bottom, and you're going to catch some fish. So that's the reason those blades are made that way. They actually produce more resistance. So it's an awesome way to fish it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's got hand-tied skirt. It's got a 6/0, so it's a little bit bigger of a hook. But this looks like it's going to slay fish. And I'd love to know Do we have anyone on the line? I'd love to know what their thoughts are about this bait. Yeah, let's bring on somebody.
Let's do it.
Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the last show ever. What do you think about this bait?
I think it's pretty good.
That's it? Pretty good?
It's pretty good, but
Where are you calling from?
I like the white. What?
Where are you
It's
calling?
Brian Rand from Maine.
Oh, how would I know, Brian? I mean,
It's Brian. Sorry.
yeah. Sorry, I can't see the screen.
all good.
It's too. I'm too old. And listen, I gave up. I gave up trying the moment the show got canceled. So I just want to say thank you for your support.
Okay.
You're like number one on my list.
Thank you.
You got cheers. I mean, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to Brian.
Yeah,
Out of me.
cheers,
Thanks.
yeah, cheers to Brian.
Great.
So-
Great. Cheers, Brian.
Yeah. Do you have any comments about this spinnerbait?
I can't wait to fish it in the spring. We get snow on the ground, so
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's hard to ice fish that kind
it's
of
about
bait.
20
Right.
degrees today.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just going to say I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, the springtime, that thing's going to bring them out. Rick, that bait looks so good. The coloring from, I mean, I'm in Northern California.
Yeah.
I'm at about 2,000 feet elevation. We got temperatures in the 40s, whatever. Water's dipping down pretty quick, but we get to fish that kind of bait all year long. The California Delta, that bait, wintertime, awesome. So I feel bad for Brian up there. What are you looking at fishing conditions? Are you getting iced over? Are you still got open water? What do you got where you're at?
Still get open water. I mean, but the small creeks, the small areas of snow into it, so nothing hardened up yet.
And are you a big spinnerbait fisherman when it comes springtime, summer, where in your waters? What do you think of spinnerbaits? Is that a normal draw for you?
Not normally. I mean, chatterbaits, jerkbaits, crankbaits,
Wow.
Yeah,
pretty much.
awesome.
Plus
I think
trying out different techniques.
I like it. Now,
Brian-
do you travel? I was going to say, do you travel to fish and go to other areas, or do you fish mostly around your home?
Up and down the state of Maine. So
It's awesome.
Brian, what do you do for a living? If you don't mind me asking.
I deliver Chinese food.
I love that. Only
How much
Chinese.
does it?
Only
How much
Chinese
does it
food?
cost? I'm hungry. That sounds great. Is it
Yeah.
a lot to come to California? It's like a long drive, I guess, for Uber.
What's the best thing that they make at the restaurant you deliver for?
Shrimp and a lobster sauce.
Oof.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Show's over.
I gotta make a call. See who could deliver that around here.
Yeah.
That's
That
awesome.
sounds- yeah. Right. Well, Brian.
So, Brian, what's your I want to know what's your PB up there in Maine? What kind of fishing you got into?
I'm gonna go 4.11.
Just below 4.
3 what?
Just below 4.
3.9.
I was close. Close.
And
3.9. Yeah.
what'd you catch that fish on?
Wacky worm. Yamasenko.
Done. I like it. So my guy, see right there,
There you
working
go.
all over the country. You know, you throw those baits out there, the fish are hungry, they eat it.
Yeah.
Got a 3.9 smallie, I'm guessing, and good on you.
I think for everyone
You
watching
know,
at
those
home,
new blade baits look cool.
which ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are pretty
The new
cool.
blade bait.
You're getting one in the mail pretty soon. As soon as the dog sleds make it up there.
Yeah, that's coming. Those work in your neck of the woods. That's a good bait up by you. You got open water, blade bait. You're going to find some fish. It's going to be fun. Keep us posted.
Yeah. This one. Yeah, as long as I bundle up.
Got it. Got to stay bundled up.
Brutal.
You and my Chinese food need to stay warm.
Definitely.
Ooh. Brian, wait. I got an announcement coming soon. It'll probably come across either carrier pigeon or via email since there's no shows anymore. But I've got some special news, and I think you'll like it more than other people. But That's for another day.
That's awesome.
So
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
It's the last show supposedly. So.
Yep. Last show.
Yep.
Thanks. All right, man.
You're feeling good about yourself. You got somebody to call you. I think
I do.
Like your therapist is going to be so excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Hey,
can I talk about, I want to talk about that big hook.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you got your bait, you got your trailer, and a lot of people like to use these trailers, and you take your average craw style trailer. This is our friends over at X Zone. I know we've had them in the box a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this craw. If a lot of people will put the craw on as a normal, like chatterbait on its side, when you put it vertical to kind of mimic a bait fish of sort, kind of hard to see, but having that extra big hook is kind of nice if you're mounting your baits sideways. So just something to consider when you're talking about that 6/0. It allows you to change the profile of your baits from running them flat to a vertical application. So it's kind of nice. There's a bunch of baits out there that are a lot of fun that look a lot like a bait fish, but their body's wide, and that cuts down on that gap opening to set the hook. So having that bigger hook in there, that's going to be a plus if you're going to be running those baits vertical. So something to think about.
All right. I love that. Let's go to the next bait in the box. Let's go with this one. This is not, so here's a brand that's been around for 1 million years. I guarantee you fished it as a kid. I bet your father fished it as a kid, if your father fished. But I would venture to guess that a lot of people on here have fished this bait before, or at least this brand. And that's Excalibur. So Excalibur was bought and sold, went away for a little bit, and they came back. And this is a 1/2 ounce suspending jerkbait. And it's got two, it doesn't say, oh, this is VMC hooks. I don't like the lighting. Good thing it's a line.
No, that was good. No, you were zoomed in. It actually showed it pretty well. I'm going to say, I went out fishing with my buddy John the other day, and it's cold here. It's winter time, and we're kind of pouty because we want to go out and catch our 40, 50 fish days, but that's just not happening. I started with a similar bait, a Finder jerkbait. Yeah. Threw it up in the shallows because we launched from the marina. We're kind of spoiled. I've got a pontoon boat set up for fishing in the marina, and went around by the boat docks up by the shallow, and I threw a jerkbait real fast, just like that. Cast it over, and 2 fish kind of followed it. And I was kind of moving it fast, and I'm watching the fish, and I thought, there's still some fish in the shallows. And I threw to the opposite corner, knowing there should be some fish there. And I changed the cadence, slowed way down, jerked, saw the fish come up, paused, waited. And it's so hard to be patient, jerked again.
Totally.
One baby snap, and then caught the best fish of the day on my end, right there in the shallows. Then we moved offshore to see what the fish had done. So where we're at, we were figuring out this transition is not all the fish had pulled out of the shallows. And it wasn't because it was warm or sunny and they were coming back up to sun. They just haven't made the transition because it's not super cold yet. So having that bait in there, 2 pieces is if there's any fish left in the shallows, you're going to catch them with a bait like that. You really need to slow down and change because they're not going to smash it like they probably did in the summertime. The other reason that bait's good, and then a bait, we'll talk about that flat side in a little bit, is when the wintertime push comes and all the fish have really transitioned to deeper water. As soon as it's a clear day, as soon as it's sunny and you've got rock structure in your lake, or you have some hard structure, maybe some trees, that's going to transmit to that solar energy, to that heat. Those fish are going to come up there. So again, that same bait presentation, when you're thinking all the fish have moved offshore, in those days where they're going to come up and try to sun and get warm and maybe feed up there, that bait is going to be very useful, being a suspending bait like that. So don't discredit, everyone thinks, we talked about some of the most overrated brands of these jerk baits, that you have to get these deep water jerk baits. The only way you can catch fish in the wintertime with a jerk bait is super deep. A suspending bait like that's got a little bit shallow bill on it, you're going to still get that down, 3-4 feet, and you're going to find some fish in the wintertime with it. So that's a good bait to have.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
Maybe it says to 6 feet. I don't know what it says on it.
It says 6.5 feet. That's a first. I've never seen the half.
Wow, that's incredible. So exactly 6.5 feet. And because that darn fish that was at 6.5 feet, I couldn't catch it with that 6 foot one. Right. And the cool part is you can mess with that. People always remind folks that the line selection, that resistance of your line, historically baits were tested on 10-pound But the issue is 10-pound fluoro versus 10-pound something else. The diameters have changed over the years. We talk about this introduction of spider wire braid. 10-pound is a gauge. What folks need to do is fish their own line and then change and go up 4 or 5 or 6 pounds different, and then see where that bait is floating, see where it's at. If you got fancy forward-facing sonar, you can actually see the depth of your bait on that forward-facing sonar. The line resistance, the bigger the line, the heavier the line, the shallower that bait is going to be fishing. So it's something to consider.
Wait a minute.
That's 6.5 feet. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I'm using bigger line, it's only going to 6, so I probably won't catch fish. So this thing's,
forget it.
You know what? I'm sorry I put it. I'm sorry I put it in the box.
It's the wrong bait.
Yeah. Let's
perfect.
Let's take a call, and before we do, Fixie, and the one after that. Before we do, I just want to remind you guys that if you're tuning in for the first time or you caught the show a little bit late, this is our last show. So make sure you put your golden ticket numbers in the chat. Make sure that, you call in and ask questions, because my therapist said if I don't get at least 150 thumbs ups, we might have to shut down the entire company. I don't know. I mean, probably not, but just
is
like
it
this
April
thing.
Fool? We got Heather in the chat over here, and Heather's saying it's crying shame she got back into fishing because of this show and the Monster Bass box. And people are it's going to be rough holidays.
Yeah, it is. Right. It's like when the Dukes of Hazzard got canceled. Let's take Charles Waltos from Hartford, Connecticut. Go ahead, Charles. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much, Rick. It's a pleasure to talk with you and see Chris on the line and see his beautiful lure pantry there. I'm very excited to ask him to send me one of each.
He'll do that, no problem.
Here, I'll get him right now.
Yeah. That lure pantry is just packed.
I like that.
So, I'm a long-time listener, of course. You've probably seen some of my emails come across, but when we're digging into lures and what we're angling with, I'm using usually a drop shot, and I've really fallen in love with the drop shot recently. But with the spinnerbait that you just displayed, my last was right around a 4-pounder I caught with one of the red eye special spinnerbaits from one of your boxes, which was it was a nice catch. It was a good struggle. Felt like I snatched onto a structure, and then I felt the tip wiggle, and I knew it was a fish, so I brought it in. And the craziest thing is my trailer was a curly tail worm that I strapped on it. Kind of funny, huh?
I love it.
It's perfect.
Just trying different tactics,
Nice. Yeah, I mean.
So let me ask you, what kind of drop shot baits are you using right now? Because I went out yesterday and was fishing kind of like a soft plastic fluke, and I was fishing it a little more aggressive, in my mind, mimicking that jerkbait. But the drop shot allows you to get that rig right down. You don't have to wait for the suspending jerkbait or anything to slowly sink. I put it on a drop shot, extended my drop shot to like 24 inches, so it's going to keep it a little higher in that water column. But I was fishing a fluke. What are you using for your drop shot baits right now this time of year?
Yeah, I'm actually using the Berkeley Power Bait Max Scent flatworms. The colors I really like to use is the smoke black purple and the black. But I have had success with the goby and the what is it called? The gobiashi. I've had great success with all of those lures. It's just really fun. I usually string in deeper water. I'll use a 3/8 ounce weight. Only string it about 12 inches after the hook, past the hook, and then with shallower waters, I'll switch to a 1/8 ounce and just the same length. Just let it hang, and it's almost immediate when a strike happens, and it's really fun when you're able to snag a big one. I live in Connecticut. I fish up in Massachusetts sometimes. A buddy of mine lets me fish on his private lake, Beaver Lake, out there.
Ooh.
And with that type of setup, I was able to bring in a 3.1 ounce largie.
Nice.
I haven't had really, real huge large PBs, but I'd take those any day.
Heck yeah. No, 3 pounds. That's good. And then we got a bait similar. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We got like a leech that's in the box, I know, but you're talking about that flat side worm. They're great. You're mimicking a small forage fish of some sort, and the fish are going to eat fish. That's a great call.
Yeah. So that's what I had going on. And, I wanted to call and just make my presence.
Appreciate it.
I hope you like my image that I have posted on there.
Where?
I always that's my favorite image. When I got that sticker, that was like, I see the hoodie online, and I'm gonna have to get it before you guys close up that line, because
Which one?
When you the MB with the Steal Your MB.
Oh, there's only one
sticker.
left. What size are you? I
I'm
swear,
a large.
there's only one
Or an
large.
extra large.
Oh, I'm pretty
Either one.
confident.
I'm more large than extra.
I swear to
What's that? How
God,
much- which
Steele.
one's left?
I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty confident that it's a large. I know I just looked at this a few days ago. There's one left, and it's a large. One left, and
All
I'll
right,
never,
I'll go
and
online
just so
right
you know,
now.
I'm never going to make it again. It's called Steal Your Bass.
You better hurry.
Steal Your Bass. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm on the site right now
Yeah.
on your apparel and hoodies.
Only one
So,
left. Only
if
one
it's-
left. That's amazing.
And it's in the gray, and I'm putting it in the cart right now.
There you go.
Done. Just selling hoodies during the show. I like it.
Listen, as a guy that went to more than
There you
60,
go.
60 of those shows, I loved it when we made that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, listen, I appreciate you calling in, man.
No worries. I'll stay on the chat and talk to you guys later. I'm glad you let me help you name some of those lures, those worms from the other week.
Yeah.
Sorry I made them personal.
No, I love that. I love that.
It's awesome. We love it.
I'm going to give you an opportunity later.
right.
I'm going to give you an opportunity later on in this show if we get through all the calls to name one more bait, because I've got one that no one's really seen yet. So
10-4. Thanks a lot.
all right, man. Thank you. All right, we got a lot of calls, Chris. I think there was
people like you. People
there
like
was
they
a-
got scared for you.
there was a call to arms, and yet we still only have like 19 thumbs up. See, this is the part I don't understand. All right, let's go to the next bait.
People. Hey, just so you know, people don't do that thumbs up thing anymore. That's just an
No.
extra thing. They're on the show. They're watching. You got eyes on the line.
You know what?
I know we got people chatting. It's if we can beg people to thumbs up us, but
I shouldn't have to beg. I just shouldn't.
I don't thumbs up stuff. I'm going to give people, hey, sorry. I'll try to be better about thumbs up in your
Whatever.
videos when I watch you on YouTube, but
Don't.
I'm
No,
going to thumbs
that's
up
fine.
everybody.
All right,
from
fine.
now on. It's
Fine.
it's
All right,
fine.
the next bait in the box is from Strike King. It is a KVD 1.5 flat side. And ooh.
Nice. How flat is KVD's flat side? Can you open? I want to see it. Is it kind of rounded? I feel like his might be a little bit.
It's a little rounded. It's
All
a
right,
little
I
rounded.
just
I don't know if we can.
no. I see it. It's okay. That's pretty flat. I'm okay with that. I see it. Yeah, right there. So I think the thing here is, again, this hydrodynamic understanding of what's going on. That bait, instead of being rounded and a little bulbous, it's kind of squared off on the top. So I grabbed one of my old favorite. This is the same kind of thing right here. So the Spro, John Cruz had this thing. This was one of the OG ones, and I love this bait. And when that was released, I don't think they called it a flat side, because that term and that idea, I don't know if that was real. I really want to find out. Somebody call in and tell me, when did this naming of a crankbait deep diver versus a standard crankbait, and then now the flat side, when did that take off? Rick, do you have an idea of, like, when you're dealing with baits and designs, when the word flat side really came around?
I don't, but you'll be happy to know this dives to 8.5 feet.
Oh, we're getting specific today.
Yeah.
So we got 6.5, we got 8.5. So it's funny because you think of these baits right here, and everyone knows that these. I mean, we got the rattle trap name that we drop around there. So then we call them liplesses because we can't use trademark names. The hydrodynamics, that tight wobble, and that's these people that get nervous of what they're calling baits. It moves quicker because when you think of that rounded edge, it pillows and pushes and actually can billow into the water in its side to side movement and can kind of crank a little more. That flat side pushes and it has more water resistance against it, and it turns and it snaps and it comes back. The thing to really look at your flat side, and you talk about the back end of your bait, and you really think of these liplesses and you think of something that's a little sharper on the back end, that cuts back through the water even quicker. And so you think of flat side's one piece, but then the diameter and width of that tail and how sharp it is, that tight wobble, that's what we're talking about, is creating something with a tight wobble that's not got so much movement. And that's that wintertime feeding frenzy that we talk about when they're getting up in the shallows, blade bait, all these things to really get that pitch of the resonation. I don't even know what the fish are listening to or feeling it, but whatever they have, that response to that movement of a bait that's a little tighter and a little quicker, that flat side bait's going to work great. So that's something to really key into, is all of the baits that seem to be working and driving a bite home in the winter, blade bait, flat side, spoon, all these things that move real quick like that. That's why that bait works. So I think that's a great addition to have in the box.
I don't disagree with you. Let's hit the phone lines. Go. Yeah. When I say hit the phone lines, that means hit the phone lines, bro.
Boom.
Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the last show.
Last show, my foot. Hello, Chris, Rick.
Hey,
Hello.
what's up?
What's up, T-Rex? Why are you calling me out like that?
Not much.
You talked to
Hey,
me.
real quick, did you get my text message yesterday?
Who are you talking to, Chris or me?
I didn't get it.
You. I don't have Chris's number.
You want it? I'll give it to you over there. Everyone get a pencil. If you guys have fishing questions, get ready, because Mr. Wishing I Was Fishing will answer all your questions long after I'm gone.
It's fine.
T-Rex, did you text me yesterday?
I have him on Instagram, so I can privately message him.
Hit me up. People ask me all the time following the show. I love it.
Oh. You know, I'm notorious for this. I don't know if you can see this, but I wrote you a response. I never hit send. Here, I'll hit send right now.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Is that why you were on hold for 15 minutes? To shame me for not responding?
No. I just wanted to make sure you got that message, because
I appreciate it.
We'll talk about it later. Anyway, I want to talk about that spinner with the honeycomb spinners on it.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those, and I used to fish it quite a bit out the California Aqueduct. And slow rolling that thing, bringing it up current, man, I used to sling bass all day with that thing. Then I lost it. And you can't find them here in California.
Well, you can actually. It's called a monster bass box.
Yeah, it's coming.
Because everyone in California is getting one of those.
I'll tell you.
Anybody doesn't want theirs, you can send it to T-Rex.
T-Rex wants them. T-Rex, I'm going to remind you and everyone else listening, a spinner bait. Check this out. This spinner bait, when you're swimming this thing back, as soon as you pause, that's now a spoon. And that's that movement that I think sometimes when we're thinking of monster bass, and you obviously get it, and I know where you're fishing out there, the Aqueduct. This is a spinner bait. It's spinning. It's great. It's calling fish. As soon as that falls, because I stop reeling, it's instantly it's an erratic fall. You do not have to run this into things to create an erratic fall with your bait. That skirt can pulse, that blade can move. I was just watching a great video from Bearded Bass. He does the coverage on our Windy Wednesdays, and he reached up to wipe his camera. And as soon as he stopped reeling, he wiped his camera. You watched his bait. He went back to reel it. Instantly, the tip went down. He caught his fish. So it's just all those things to remember. Those blades on there. There's a lot of spoons that are pounded, and that's what always reminds me of like, oh yeah, that's 2 spoons on a blade setup. That's an awesome bait, and you can give it all the movement you want. So that's a really cool way to fish those.
That's a really interesting tip. I would have never thought that. So in theory, when I'm fishing a spinnerbait, why not just give it a pause every now and then, and just when I'm cranking it back, give it a pause and let it drop?
You watch pros all the time, and they're fishing, and they don't always talk about it, but it's the cadence retrieve, and you can kind of reel pulse it. I lift my rod. When a fish is following something and then it kind of raises, it's like, oh my gosh, it's going to get away from me. And then you pause, it drops and falls. And so if you can change the elevation in this water column it's swimming in, it's great. The movement, the cadence, all the time we think a crankbait has to hit against something to do that. It can go, your spinnerbait's really effective if it hits some grass. Rip it through the grass. Same thing with a chatterbait bladed jig. That's when you're getting a lot of your strikes, is that movement. Create the movement yourself. Jig it, bounce it, lift your rod tip, pause, have a drink, whatever. That you're going to find out you're going to catch a lot more fish that way.
Wow, that's a really good tip. Thank you.
It is.
We're here to help. That's our job.
Well, I do have one more. I do have one more question before we part ways.
Okay.
And this is for Chris, because I know he's just a plethora of knowledge. So when you're using the jerkbait, how do you feel about? Because I used to always run the jerkbait with braid. Depending on the depth and what I was throwing, depending on the size of the braid. But recently I switched over to a 20-pound braid with about a 10-foot leader of Sun 10-pound sniper line.
Yep. Smart. I'll tell you, if you're asking my opinion, I think when I'm fishing a jerkbait, very often it's in clear water, and the vision of the fish becomes important. We want to move stuff really fast and make sure those fish don't get a good look at some baits. But when you pause this bait and you jerk it and it sits there and suspends, they're going to come up and they're going to see a really good view of it. And that jerkbaits just look like a fish. And it's like a monster bass jerkbait, got something with that front red hook, all these things enticing it. If they get a glimpse of that line and they're a little line shy, it's going to discourage them from taking the bite. So I always run a fluorocarbon leader. I do throw it on braid. I do fluorocarbon. I don't go less than 10 pounds, but I definitely have a leader on all of my jerkbaits. I don't go straight braid. I also, and I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of the way braid, if I jerk real hard, in my mind, I think that braid can kind of clump up in front of it. It's the fluorocarbon stays normally a little bit stiff away from it. As you get, and that's what I do with my topwater. I'm running like 20-pound fluorocarbon. And that way, when I pop it, I'm walking the dog or something, it always stays away from the bait. 10-pound is strong enough jerkbait fluorocarbon, maybe 12-pound, maybe go up to 14-pound if you think you're getting into some really big fish and you're in dirtier water. But having that braid tied directly to it, chances are you're scaring some fish and they're seeing that, and it's going to put them off. The big reason is you're probably fishing over the top of those fish for a while before that bait gets to them. And if that braid's going by them a whole lot, you have a chance of missing those fish. Hope that helps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I've been doing it now for a couple of months, and catching with jerkbait has probably improved a good 20-25%. So that's why I wanted to bring it up so other people could learn it too. So yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, I think it's important to understand that every time you make a move like that, you're increasing your odds. You're not scaring fish, putting them down, whatever you want to call it. Use the fluorocarbon, something like you're talking about the sniper line. You have a better chance of catching those fish. So wintertime, they're finicky. So you got to put all the odds in your favor the best you can, and using that bait, the right kind of line, you're going to catch them. So congrats on that.
All right. And before I say goodbye to you guys, I want to thank you guys for all the knowledge that you put out. I want to thank everybody that donated last week to the Monster Bass Cares. I appreciate it with all my heart. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Maybe.
We'll be here.
All right, maybe T-Rex. All right, let's take we got quite a few calls, so we got to get through them. Fixie,
let's run through them.
Give me someone else. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from and what's your PB? Hello? Oh, no. Hello?
One down.
No.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
Going good.
Right on. What's your name?
It's Brian.
Right on. So did you have a question?
Yeah. How long should you let a jerkbait set before you jerk it in cold water?
That's a great question.
Okay, Rick, you want to give him an answer, and I'll give him my opinion.
Yeah, I think that you want to mix it up. I think you're going to try variable speeds. I think sometimes you're gonna rip it. You're gonna pause it, let it just kind of flutter. You're gonna give it a twitch, pause. Like, I think you're gonna mix it up because, right now you're just trying to get that fish to get a reaction bite out of it, and I think the more you mix up the cadence, the more likely you're probably gonna see some success right now. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because I live in Kentucky and the water's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my take on
good.
it too, and that's Rick nailed it. When you're trying to figure out a pattern to kind of set you up for success for the day, and that's what I was mentioning beginning of the show. If you can still hear me, when I was first fishing the jerkbait, I was covering water kind of fast just to see if I could find some fish and get some followers. Once I slowed down and you get the fish to commit, the biggest thing that you can do to help your success catch the second fish is cue in to when they struck it. People will say 30 seconds is a maximum time. I couldn't wait 30 seconds if you paid me. I mean, maybe if you paid me a lot, but to twitch a jerkbait and to wait 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, then I'll go pause, like jerk, pause. Mixing things up is important. The really important piece is to key into when the fish bit it and then be able to duplicate that same cadence. That's the important part. And I'll throw this out there. And this is the hardest part of fishing for a lot of people. If you catch a fish,
exactly.
You pause, you jerk, you kind of pause. When you catch the first fish, just remember your adrenaline's going to beat it. Your heart rate's going to race. You're going to fish way faster on your second fish. So I'll just remind you, slow down in the winter. And then after you catch a fish, remind yourself, slow down even more because you're going to be excited you finally caught a fish. So that's just a tip to help you catch a second fish. You still with us?
All right.
He's going fishing. He's excited.
Yeah.
It's like,
all right.
I got it. He's like, I'm going.
Love it. Well, listen, thanks a lot for calling in, and hopefully you see some more success with jerkbaits.
Yeah.
Send us some messages. Let us know what's going in your area. We'd love to hear from all over the country, what you're doing, how you're catching fish.
All right. Who do we got next? Go ahead. Caller. Where are you from?
Yeah, this is Brian Carter. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Amazing. What are you up to
I'd like to tell you about the jerk. I love those jerk baits, man. I have a lot of good luck on the jerk baits.
I get it. Make sure you turn down the volume.
Down,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he got it. He got it.
Yeah, I'm behind on the computer. Yeah, you have me confused there a little bit.
No worries.
But I'm having a lot of good luck on the jerk baits, man. I really do. And like you say, when it's warm, I'm trying to take it away from them. I'm trying to get away from them, and they will eat it up. But when it gets cold right now, you gotta slow it down. I watch them a lot on the Aqueduct cameras too, and I kind of learn a lot by using the cameras.
Sure.
I watch other people fish too.
That's awesome. That's even better. That's a more improved forward-facing sonar. You got a video camera you get to watch. What is the longest time you'll pause? Do you pause for as far as like 10 seconds? How long do you pause on a long pause?
I don't usually pause for a very long time. If you pause too long, I feel like they're getting a good look at it. I say, no, I don't think so. I don't have much luck. I don't pause long, but I do catch a lot of the fish on the pause.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't pause that long. I just think it's partly why Rick didn't send that text out, because he got distracted by something else. That's what happened. And
text?
That's life. And that text back, that T-Rex didn't get his text back. So that's why when you're fishing and I can't pause for that long. And I do the same thing. If I'm texting somebody and somebody else calls, there's all these distractions. That's why I jerkbait fish, is it keeps me involved in the fishing in the wintertime rather than just waiting and hoping a fish bites, drop shot or something. So
and I feel like in the wintertime too, the yellow perch pattern works really well, because yellow perch are pretty active in the winter, in the colder weather.
Yep, that's kind of like that pattern that Rick held up.
Lot of in it.
That's awesome.
That simulates the yellow perch also. Yeah.
Yep, that's cool.
All right.
And the spinnerbait you had, I can't find that spinnerbait around here. We have blackfish tournaments here every summer, and I believe that one would be great for a blackfish tournament.
Well,
it's tough; it can handle it.
You're getting it in this month's box.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. It's not in mine, or I haven't got that box yet.
You probably haven't gotten it yet. Every box has got that spinnerbait this month.
Okay, well, I haven't got that box yet.
Yep.
I look forward to getting it, though. That'll be a good blackfish book there.
Love it. And
another good tip for everybody, too, the spinnerbaits, if you fish them around treetops and wood, try to hit the wood. Make it hit the treetop, and that will do just right.
Yep.
Love it. Well, make sure when you get it, take it out. Let me know what you think.
Okay, I sure will.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for calling in, man.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Fixie, hit us up. What do we got? Go ahead, caller.
Make sure when you get it.
Nope. Turn down the volume.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How you doing, Rick? It's Heather.
Oh, well, hello,
yes.
Heather.
Yes, Heather called.
All right. All right, go ahead. You can yell at me.
Hey, I got that. Well, my PB is 3.2 pounds.
Love it.
Just to make that official.
Okay.
Yes.
3.2.
Love it.
And yeah, this whole our last show ever thing. Man, this show's been the reason I got back into fishing and fishing with lures.
Heather, don't listen to Rick.
Live bait.
We could always go back. We could always
go on. Yeah.
We could always go back to the Geezer Squad.
Well, I love the Geezer Squad.
I know. The Geezer.
Those are my peeps.
I did love the Geezer Squad. Chris does know the Geezer Squad.
I feel like I'm part of the Geezer Squad, so I think it's fine.
Yeah. We used to have late night Instagram lives where, I would drink a bottle of wine and talk to people, and we would end up talking about anything but fishing. It would turn into, I think one night some guy came in and talked about his sobriety for an hour and like his struggles that he was having. And we opened it up and it was raw. It was amazing. And there were nights like that. And then there were nights where we talked about how we were going to make baits and kind of mimic the Guggen Squad, but it was going to be just 5 old dudes with bellies and t-shirts. And it was going to be so funny. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
Good times. All
right. So Heather, what you're saying is,
hey, I did get the package that y'all sent out last week.
Okay, great. So are you saying
and I am loving the reel.
Amazing. What reel did Raphie send?
It was the K4000 from 13 Fishing.
Okay, great.
There's the source line.
Yep. I'm glad you like it.
And so now I just need a rod to pair it up with.
Are you calling to have me?
I think she wants a rod. She's just asking nicely for a rod.
She's looking for the.
No.
I'm just messing.
That's right.
I'm looking for ideas for a rod.
Ooh, that's a good question. So.
Yeah, because I'm, 7 foot's about the length I can handle. That's the max length.
Well, there you go. I mean, there's a lunker stick with your name on it somewhere.
So Heather, what do you got? What are you looking to use that reel for? I don't know the kind of reel that was sent out, but what bait are you truly gonna think you're gonna use with that?
Well, it's definitely not going to be finesse because it's a big reel. It's a much bigger reel than what I currently have. I've got a Shimano 2500 that I've had for years.
Nice. Okay. And that's that whole thing is determining with the rod and the rod size based on your lure size. We talked a tiny bit about it with Raphie last week. It's a lot about loading the rod with the lure. So that's something to really consider when you go and you buy your rod, how heavy that lure is. To properly cast it, it needs to load and then to be able to throw and release. So that's the consideration. If you're not going to be using finesse style baits, you can get away with a little heavier rod. If you're going to be using really small baits, these micro rods that are coming out and all the things we got with Aggressively Average Angler, that's why those rods are so sensitive and so flexible, is to be able to cast. And then realistically, it's about the size fish you're going to end up fighting as well. But, decide if you can. And how many rods do you have right now? Because this question, we go down this rabbit hole. Do you have a couple rods? Do you have 3 rods? What do you got for fishing rods do you have set up?
Well, I currently have 4. I have two baitcasters, different strengths, the spinning rod, and people are going to laugh at me, and I don't want to hear it in the chat, but I do still have a spin cast rod. It's one of the original Zebco 33s that I got when I was a kid. I was a teenager. But 30, 40 years later, it's still, because I take care of it, casts, half. Oh,
they cast. They cast phenomenal. There's a whole movement of like vintage fishing gear and a lot of like the cool kids nowadays, the push button, the spinners. There's so many people catching big fish. I mean, that was like the YouTube cool thing for a minute, as you go and buy a Barbie rod and see how big of a fish you can catch. When all my kids grew up on the little push button, the 303 Zebcos, don't discredit those. They work great. The reel is one piece. The next thing really now is you'll start to notice you'll fish better with the rod. And so that's one consideration. The reel does an important job to retrieve the lure, but the rod tip will allow the lure to have the right action. And so this is the fun part of really deciding. It sounds like you got these 4 rods. Am I going to use this to crank? If I'm fishing a crankbait on a rod that's too stiff, it doesn't allow that vibration to happen. Same thing with, it gets so technical and fun really fast with spinner baits, how the lower blade really dictates how much action the secondary blade can have and how much pulse. And that's important with your rod tip as well. So I would say try to pick, you got enough rods, pick the baits that you want to dedicate to that rod, and then buy the right rod that's matched and paired up to make those baits work most effectively. And then you'll have a little bit more success.
And that's very valid. And I really appreciate the education, because when I'm looking for a more stout spinning rod than the one I currently have, because the one I have doesn't handle heavier weights, and because of Monster Bass boxes that I used to get, there's a lot of baits I haven't been able to fish because they're just not right for the rods that I have.
Yeah.
So I was looking to, get a more stout rod so I could throw the heavier lures.
Heck yeah. And it's funny because the bass fishing world, we somehow, I don't know where this happened, is we got confused that you have to use a bait caster on bigger baits. And then the second you go to an inshore fisherman they're not just fishing for bass, they're fishing for redfish and they're fishing for snook. You got fish that are 40 inches long. They're not using bait casters anymore because the effective drag on the spinning reel works a little bit better. So if anybody's heckling you ever, send them my way. If they're bugging you for throwing a bait of any size or any sort with a spinning rod and a spinning reel, because you use a spin bait. You can use a spinner rod for a big swim bait. Doesn't matter. Just fish your game, do your thing, and you'll be successful. So good on you.
Yeah, and thanks for calling in, Heather.
Well, thank you very much.
It's good to hear your voice again.
Good to talk to you, Rick.
All right.
I asked
Heather,
for a new Monster Bass subscription, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Call in next week when we have our show again, Heather. We'll see.
All right.
We have like 36
Thank you both
thumbs
very
up.
much. You guys have a great night.
All right. Thanks, Heather.
You too.
All right. Bye. All right, Fixie. Hit us up. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from?
Hey, Rick.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm from Illinois.
Nice.
Hey, man. This is Derek. I called you a couple months ago.
Okay.
And you sent my son a rod for his birthday.
For his birthday. Yeah.
And he was super excited. Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And he got 2 of the boxes. I gave him both of the boxes that came in the meantime after I subscribed for his birthday also. So he had a nice monster bass birthday.
I love that.
Cool.
Yeah, man. This can't be your last show, dude. Like, no way.
Why not? I mean,
No way.
Listen, I give you an hour back, an hour and a half back every Wednesday. You can go watch reruns of Chandler Bing, and you know.
I hear you, man. No, he got a lot of really, really good stuff, and we only did the silver package because that's what I can afford. But all the stuff he got was great.
Silver package.
The rods
is great.
were great.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. Like I was very impressed with what the quality of the boxes were, and it's December in Illinois, so the weather is, it's not great, and we've done more hunting than fishing, but so
nice. Now let me ask you this: do you watch like the video? Do you like make time to watch videos with your son and talk about fishing and stuff?
Yeah, I just shared the video with him yesterday that I got on my email about the cold water bait.
Yeah.
And, I would love to be able to go out and do all the things on those videos, like right when I watch them so I can remember it.
Yeah.
But, but he absorbs it,
That's great.
and
that's cool.
Yeah. And he loves fishing and so do I. It's just finding the time, but
yeah.
I don't want this to be the last show ever because I do enjoy the Monster Bass Live when I get the chance to check in. So,
all right,
I get the text message alerts, and if I'm not driving, I usually tune in like I did tonight. So,
well, I appreciate you. I'm really glad your son loved what he got, and all right.
I got him a really nice reel to go on it too for Christmas. So
nice.
He's set up for next year when we start doing some fishing again. So.
Good.
Yeah,
I was
going to say,
I hope we get to go.
I was going to give your son
before it freezes up.
Yeah, I'll give your son a fun wintertime assignment. Can you set out some plastic cups? Like think of like the red cups that people might use for other games with ping pong balls and things. But if you put some
cups,
yeah, so you got your solo cups. Get him, pretend like he's on a bass boat. Maybe get a milk crate or something. Have him sit on that. You can even do it in your living room in the yard. But have him practice flipping and pitching. And it doesn't matter whether he's got a baitcaster or spinning rod. Doesn't matter. You can scissor flip and do all these different things to work on his presentation. Practice having that bait, and you just like maybe put a 1 ounce weight on there, no hook, and have him practice to slide it closer to the ground. Have him do some flops that'll actually land a little bit more vertical and fall straight down. So he can do some living room fishing during the wintertime. Get him connected. If he's watching a video on Monster Bass, then have him probably have that rod in his hand and do some of that stuff. It keeps you excited during the wintertime, and then he'll be a better angler come spring. So that's something to, even though you're not having the chance to go out and fish, at least he's practicing those skills.
Yeah,
and then
that's good advice. That's good advice. I appreciate that.
And then get him 2 pieces of string. This is the whole Scoutmaster. I'm the worst at tying knots, but if you can get like shoelaces, maybe some different colors, he can practice tying some knots.
I'm the worst.
We could have a battle someday of the worst knot tires. But
man, dude, I turned 46 and my eyeballs just straight turn to jello when it comes to up close. I can't see up close anymore. It's terrible.
It's terrible. So that fly fishing, you got these tiny little midge flies, and you're trying that's horrible. But that's if you get him to practice tying his knots, and then that way, like practice that crazy knot, like. And you got these knots going from braid to fluorocarb and not just tying the lure on. Once he gets good at tying those knots and he wants to change his lures out in the water, way more successful fishing. So there's some homework to do during the off season. So that's cool.
For sure. And those pamphlets that you guys send in those boxes are awesome. Like, they really are awesome. And he read them both back, and I said, file them away. And next year, when you are getting ready to go fishing, read them again, because the information in those pamphlets that come in those boxes is very good, especially for, a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of years left of fishing, and every bit of information that he can file away is money in the bank. So I really think those boxes were an awesome present for him and also for his future as an angler. So
love that. Couldn't agree more. I mean,
you guys are awesome, and I appreciate your show and everything. So
all right,
don't let it be the last, Rick. Please.
All right. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for calling in, man. I really appreciate you calling back in and let me know about your son.
That's awesome.
All right. What do you say we take that next call, and I'm going to give this caller an option. All right. Caller? Hello? Go ahead. You there? Oh, no. Hello? Oh, no.
They're scared. I feel like they're out. They hung up. Okay. Next.
Go ahead, Fixie. What do we got? All right, go ahead, caller. Here's the deal. Oh, go ahead. Where are you from?
Hello?
Hello?
We got a hello.
How's it going? Hello? Can you hear me?
It's not going good.
Oh, no.
I think you got technical difficulties here.
Can you hear us?
We got you.
Hello?
He's getting help in the background.
Yeah, here
we got you.
We got you. How's it going, man?
I can't hear any of you guys.
You can't hear us?
Maybe.
Hello?
I can't hear you through the phone or nothing.
All right. We're going to hang up on you. I know your number. Call back in and we'll pick it back up. I won't make you wait for a long time. I'm going to take one more call and we'll come right back to you. All right. I know what number it is. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next call. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from?
Hello.
Hey. How's it going? Oh, no. Hello? This is definitely our last show, Fix.
It was going so good. We almost saved it.
All right.
Restart. Oh,
don't worry. I got your number too. We're gonna restart the system. Fix is pulling the old IT move. Did you restart your computer? And so I see you three. Oh my goodness. I see you callers. We're gonna get to you. He might have to restart this thing. But what we can do is we can use this as a moment to remind you that if you're consuming this live, great. But if you're not, you can listen to this wherever you find your favorite podcast, whether that's on Spotify or Amazon or even Apple. Don't forget, put your golden ticket numbers in the chat. This is probably one of your last times to ever be able to do so because they're going away. And as always, I want to thank you guys for your support and giving us the ability to spend a few hours a week with you guys each and every week. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to do so.
Well, he's doing that. You want to go? I think you got a couple more. You still got a few more baits in that box.
I do. I mean, I still have the brand new Vibe Master blade bait. I mean, this thing, I could pull it out. Although, hold on.
Here, I got you.
You've got.
I think I got one. I got one right here. Yeah. Look at that bad boy.
I love that.
Ooh.
Fixie, give us a caller. Let's see if it works. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. How are you doing, Rick?
Oh, we're doing great. See, it's the old IT director trick. Restart it and it all works.
Yeah, I got that. I called in like 3 times. I got like disconnected because you did have some difficulties. I couldn't hear you through my phone.
Yeah. For the record, I didn't have any difficulties. Fix did.
It's all good.
But we're all good now. So what's going on, man?
No, not much. I don't know. I was wondering the Excalibur that you were showing earlier.
Yes, sir.
Well, I caught my best bass TV on that, in which I called in plenty of times. You probably know me, Rick, just to see where I caught my TV smallmouth bass. I always talk to Chris.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, anyways, what I wanted to say was that Excalibur, I used the square bill, the small one, and I caught that 5-pound, 3-ounce smallmouth.
Yep.
And that's the only like crankbait I ever started using, and then I lost it, and I was really mad, and I can't find it on your website. It was like this 1.5 square bell, I do believe. Mm-hmm. It's got the red eyes and it's a shad, black and silver.
I'm looking. Hold on.
Well,
I'm looking. Do I have it? I see the square bill. Hold on. So what you're saying is you need one of those.
Yeah, because it's got to have the red eyes. I don't know what's about the red eyes, but I'm telling you right now, the red eyes make a difference. A lot of my fish over the summer last year came on red eyes.
All right, I'll tell you what. Do me a favor. Email me at rick@monsterbass.com. I'll look in the garage and see what I've got. I don't have any in stock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see what's in the garage. And if I've got one, I'll send it to you.
It's awesome.
Cool, that will work. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, no problem.
And you can't cancel your show because my fellow firefighters, I told them about the show, and you might have some new members and stuff in boxes, and they're going to tune into the show. So,
well, I wouldn't want to disappoint
some of my fellow firefighters.
I wouldn't want to disappoint some fellow firefighters.
No way. Got to take care of it. First responders, we gotta, we gotta be here to support our first responders. They take care of us. So we're going nowhere. You know what? I'm throwing the law down. We're here. Rick needs to take a sabbatical. It's fine. We'll just keep talking. We'll just talk about fishing. It's okay.
Yeah, it's cold up here in upstate New York, and I don't like doing like cold fishing, so I have to wait until it's like April.
Where's upstate New York?
And it's like 5 months. I'm like 45 minutes from Albany West.
Where specifically do you live?
You know Albany? I'm in Johnstown, New York.
Yeah, sure. I grew up in Syracuse.
Yes, I know where that is. Syracuse is about 4 hours away from me.
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah, sure. In fact, I talked to a SUNY school today that is starting a bass fishing program, and they wanted to talk to me about how to get it started and everything. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So can I ask you, what do you do in the off season? You got 5 months where it's too cold. You don't want to fish in the cold weather and the cold water. What do you do?
I watch a lot of videos.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Put fishing on the back burner, watch videos. Get excited.
Yeah, I watch fishing videos. I study, take my rods apart and my reels and grease them and put them back together. And just, 5 months, it's like, what am I going to do? It's like, there's nothing to do outside. It's like cold and snow and, oh.
You're not sitting at home secretly waiting for a fire, are you?
Well, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, good.
No, it's just I'm off the next 2 days. Amazing. And then my shift starts back up on Friday. So
nice.
It's like 4 days on, 3 days off.
Good on you. Good on you. I appreciate your service. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I appreciate your guys' show. And hey, Rick, you know what? My whole tackle box is nothing full of monster bass. Because I was a member for you since last year, last May or April.
Yeah.
And my whole box is nothing but filled with monster bass stuff.
Appreciate you so much, man.
It's awesome.
What was your PB?
5 pounds, 3 ounce smallmouth.
We're shooting for
fish.
6.
And I caught that on that. And I caught that on that. Like I told you that crankbait.
Yeah.
That's why he wants that crankbait back. Yeah, the top fish PB.
Yes, I
he
do,
wants that
because I caught a lot of fish on that.
I get it. Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
We'll find. That's cool.
We're breaking 6 pounds this year. I feel it.
Yes, I'm hoping, man.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, listen,
All right,
man.
cool.
I
That'll work
appreciate
for
you,
me.
and like I said, if shoot me an email, and if I can find one in my garage, it's yours.
Absolutely, Rick. We'll do that.
All right, buddy.
So that's marketing@masterbass.com?
Sure, send it there.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right, thank you guys. You guys be safe. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, thank you.
All right. Cheers.
All right, where we got? Go ahead, caller.
So what's up, Rick? What's up, Chris? This is the Hype Man.
Oh, what's going on, bro?
Right.
Oh, just we're bouncing in and out of winter weather down here as far as temps. 35 one day, 61 the next. Pretty typical for the South.
Yeah, I get it.
So now you got to have another show. I mean, you just don't have a choice. I have surgery next Wednesday, and I want to call in.
Oh, great.
Post up.
Are you going to call
medicine that can be?
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
He's gonna be all drugged up.
Yeah, he's gonna be all hopped up on oxy or something, whatever they give him at the hospital, and he's gonna be like confessing his life story to us.
Done. That's worth it. I'm
That's
tuning
right.
in.
Hey, you know what?
All right, I'll tell you what. Here's the deal.
It even says on the bottom. It says it's a raw, unfiltered take. And
All right.
Any more raw and unfiltered than that.
All right, here's the deal. You call in next week, post-op. I'll put you on the show first the moment we see it. I'll do it just for you. I can't say no to someone in surgery.
That's right. Yeah, I'm getting the ACL replaced, which I think I mentioned that before. Tore it, blew it out, rolling a 4-wheeler. It's actually been 7 weeks. So I've been walking around fine, but
so I need
just every now and then you feel it.
Yeah. So I need to drop.
You don't need the ACL. It's fine. Just an extra piece.
So it's fine. I can drop you from my fantasy roster this year.
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay. All right. Well,
I actually did have the option. I did have the option not to do it, but I referee soccer and I do college. I did a couple top 25 matchups this year, so you can't. You got to get it done. So I did ask the doctor. I told him, I said, "Can I get a 5-star athlete donor ligament?"
Yeah.
You don't want a couch potato piece going in your body.
No.
You got a fine-tuned athlete. Get a good part. Yeah, that's good.
We're transferring into
right.
Transfer portal's open.
No, it's all good.
Good. All right, listen.
All good. Definitely looking. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to tell you, I'm really excited about the blades. That's the blade baits. That's one of my confidence, one of my go-tos. I think it's versatile. Like folks talk about the jig, but I use it. Bouncing on the bottom. I'll yo-yo it almost like like a methed out lipless.
That's what it is.
So I love them. I'm excited for it.
I got a whole new name. Thank you for that, because it's a lipless on crack. I can't wait to go out. Like we got the cracked one. Man, the lipless on crack. Thanks for that.
I love that. All right, listen. If for some reason you don't call in because you're all jacked up, I really hope your surgery goes well, and make sure when you do come back that you give us a call.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm calling. There's no doubt. I've already given my kid $20 to dial this number next week.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, you guys. Hold on.
Guys, I'll let you get to someone else.
All right.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, buddy. What are you doing?
I just finished my finals.
How'd you do?
I don't know yet, but
How do you feel?
I definitely know I at least passed, so we're good.
Well, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on Monster Bass Live right now.
Oh, hello, Monster Bass
Hey.
Live.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, congrats on passing your finals. That's good. Let them know. That's cool.
That's all I had to say.
Okay. All right. I will. I'll call you after the show.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Also, I have work till 6:30, and then I can leave tomorrow.
Okay. We're going for sushi tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you too.
All right. Bye. All right. So I had to take care of business. Priorities. Let's go to
Dad
number
moment.
3. Yeah. Hello?
Hello, is that me?
Yeah, it's you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, yeah, I'm Adam. It's the first time I'm calling.
Okay.
Usually, football. You guys, I was coaching when you guys have the show on. But anyway, first of all, I'll say, hey, congratulations on finals. I picked my daughter up today from her dorm room.
Where's she go to school?
Also, want to say thanks for. She goes to Chicago State University.
Nice. Congratulations to you.
I live. Huh?
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, want to say, hey, you sent me 2 fishing poles. I gave one to my kid, and he said it was the lightest thing he's ever used because we went to the Kentucky Lake 2 weeks ago. Cold as hell, cold as cold as left into nuts. But we didn't catch anything. But he loved the pole. Okay.
Amazing.
The white one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I received my box. I got a question. You guys are talking about. I don't have too much over here. I don't have a boat, but I go river fishing here, and the river here is only maybe 2 feet deep at the most. How do you, I have one spot that I always go fishing, but how do you fish that? I know there's tons of bass in there. I know there's pike and carp, and I just haven't been having luck. Unless the water's high, and but we haven't had anything high. So, just that question.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple ideas. Do you know what a Ned rig is? It's like there's a Ned rig.
I've been learning about it.
I'm just gonna throw this up here. I got a couple options, and it doesn't have to be a Ned rig. This is right here is called a shaky head, and I don't know if you can see the screen, but you can go back to the show later. The shaky head, this is a round ball jig head. It's basically any kind of weight that has a hook connected to it. Get yourself a small piece of like a small plastic. If you have a Cinco worm, if you've got a stick bait, cut that thing in half. If you've got shallow water, just to test it out, and you're talking about a lot of bass. I have a local river near me. It's really, really shallow. It's called the Bear River. Tons of smallmouth bass in it. Get a real small creature bait or a small Ned rig head, like a bait, throw out some kind of jig head and just bounce it on the bottom. And you're going to have all these fish that are probably really close to the bottom. If it's that shallow, the fish are really stuck to the cover and they're going to stick to those rock crevices and things. Wow. Chances are you're going to get hooked up in things and you're going to lose some baits, and that's fine, but throw it around, see what happens. The other idea is don't be afraid to throw a jerk bait. That one that we were just showing you. If you get a jerk bait with a really small bill, it's not going to dive too deep. Make sure it's like a floating suspending. You can kind of keep those high. The spinnerbait. If you can move something across the water column kind of quick, river fish oftentimes are really good at dealing with the current and grabbing fish and bait and moving in and out of where their cover spots are. So don't be afraid to fish something that moves quick, and just give it a shot. Be prepared to change lures all the time. If it's that shallow, be prepared to snag things. If it's only a couple feet deep, if it's safe, you can walk out and retrieve it. But I have a lot of success in shallow rivers using micro jigs and things. Did you see the show where they were talking about that new ultralight rod? I don't know if you followed that with you.
No, I haven't.
That's something
I watched someone, but I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's just to really increase the amount of fish, the presentation of smaller jigs and things. Not to say you don't have big fish in a small river or a shallow river, that you can have some big fish. And you talked about maybe pike and things. You want to have the right gear to battle the fish, and depending on the size. But definitely look into some smaller micro jigs and the smaller microplastics, and you can have a tremendous time in a shallow river like that.
All right, I'll try that out. I will say the whopper popper you guys sent me. I caught quite a few black bass with that, so thank you very much. I like that bass.
That's awesome.
That bait, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Top water.
all right,
That's key.
And I am a veteran, and thank you guys for supporting us. And can I pitch? If there's any veterans, I love the organization. Take a vet fishing. All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Appreciate you.
If you're in the if you're in the Midwest or like in Florida, they'll take a vet out. You go out and everything's free. It's great.
That's cool.
All right. Thanks for. I'm glad I got in. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate your service. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye. All right, Chris. I want to be cognizant of time.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes left in the show, and we have how many calls in the queue? 4.
Let's do it. Minute apiece.
All right. Go ahead. Fixie, you're in charge. All right, go ahead, caller. Where are you from?
Hey, guys.
Marty Lawson.
Hey.
I can name that tune in 2 notes.
Hey, MONSTERBASS pairs. I'm gonna run through this real quick.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, guys? Hope you're having a good night. Looks like you are. MONSTERBASS cares. The gentleman that just called in about supporting the veterans, that's what we do with MONSTERBASS cares. You can donate money directly to an account, and that account gets used to send free fishing tackle from MONSTERBASS to veteran tournaments that we support. Okay. For the guy that was talking about his eyes going bad, I carry a needle threader in my tackle box that really, really helps with poor eyesight and thin line. You can just push out through the eye of the hook. It gives you a little bit more leverage, push it through the eye of the hook. Then you can thread your thin line and pull it right through. It's a great tool. Folks whose eyesight's getting bad like mine, it's a great thing to have. Rick?
Yes, sir.
The spinnerbait that's sitting there on your microphone.
Yes, sir.
I cannot wait to get that. We have a lot of snakehead in the Rappahannock, real close to my house. And I am definitely wanting to go and take that out there. And Chris, just let you know, snakehead are not afraid of braid.
Yeah, no, snakehead don't care about anything. Snakehead, they'll eat your face. It doesn't matter. No, they're a cool fish.
Yeah,
a lot of their baits, their frogs will actually have braid on the front of them, and they're pre-tied with the braid leader so they don't cut through your normal line. So that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are even times when, I've had a real thin steel leader on, something like a whopper flopper, especially when the parents are guarding the fry. It's a lot of fun to drag a real small whopper flopper across the top of those fry, and they will just crush it. So, hey, is my minute up?
2 minutes up. You're done. So I was gonna tell you, here's your needle threader right here. Your MONSTERBASS, your bobber stoppers, weight stoppers, you can use that. You flare out one of those pieces of wire, and it's probably hard to see, but if you flare it, you can stick that through the eyelet and you pull your line right back through. So that's an old-fashioned trick to threading really small eyelets. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
You must be a scoutmaster.
Something like
perfect. That. Great for real small diameter line if you're using that ultralight rod.
Yep.
All right, Marty, thanks for calling.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey, one quick thing. One quick thing. I got 5 of the of my flatline crankbaits today. Can't wait to use them. And I got a bunch of the blade baits coming in the mail. They're on their way. Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you, Marty. All right, who's next? Powering through. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, this is Alex. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Just getting out of work and had a chance to hop on. So
appreciate it.
Always good to hear you guys' info. I just have a few questions, but man, I've been doing a lot of mainly all season. I had been doing night fishing. I do like bass and walleye, really whatever I can get on, but mainly bass and walleye. Just started noticing, obviously, with the weather changes. I mean, sometimes like during the day we'll be up in the 60s, and then obviously like mid 30s later on in the day. I'm out in Colorado. Started to see that the night bite kind of cooling down unless I get them right after sunset. You think that just has to do with temperature changes with the water throughout the day, or?
Yeah, I'll tell you, night bite is phenomenal where I live. We live for the night bite because fish get really stupid at night and they feel like they're safe. They don't have birds worried, they're not going to get eaten. They come up to feed a lot at night. So just understand that they're probably not traveling up into the shallows because the water is now colder at the surface. So they're not going to come up to feed as much. So as that water changes, that's what's really happening is your fish are just kind of staying down. They used to in the summertime, they'll come up and they'll eat anything. Top water is awesome. Big baits, swim baits, night bite is incredible. Wintertime transition, when they leave that warmer water, the thermocline, everything's changed. It's warmer down below. So they're probably not going to venture up because it gets dark. But still, the night bite works. But think about the night bite. It may end up transitioning into deeper water. They do still see that it's dark. I mean, fish don't have eyelids. We always tease like the night and the sun and all these different things make an important difference in a fish's life, but they don't have to go and really feed at night. So you're spot on. It happens at transitions. They're going to feed different when it gets dark, but you're not going to have the same summertime night bite.
That makes sense. Okay. So, I've been throwing a lot of jerkbait, trying to stick with the pauses. It seems like that's been effective. Maybe I just need to go out a little bit further. I've been still throwing like 5 to 10 yards out. I think I need, and I have been noticing I've been getting more bites around 15 to 20, or feet, I should say, not yards. Sorry. But yeah, maybe that's what I got to stick out a little bit further. Quit trying to catch them right there at the shallows like I was further in.
Hey, they'll be back in the spring. Just look forward to that because they're going to still travel up, and you can get some fish that are going to come and move around at different times. But yeah, the summertime night bite is probably dropped off in your area, and same thing, like you said, just fish out a little deeper. That's where the fish are at. So keep us posted.
Yep,
that's all.
Lastly, just a quick question with the braid. Do you think at night straight braid to like jerks and stuff like that matters? Do you think you still need leaders at night, or do you think?
No, they can't. The fish can't see it. They could see a little different than we do underwater, and at night they actually see different than a human's eye. But don't worry about the line. It's dark. They don't care. They're just, if they see something, but the movement, they feel it, they're going to go and eat it.
Agreed.
So yeah, get after it. Yeah, I mean the braid, we go crazy. I won't waste a lot of extra time, but I mean you can cover up fish's eyes. They literally have done suction cup tests where they cover fish's eyes and they still go. I'm sure you've caught a bass or two that have one eye. Don't worry about your braid and stuff at night. Just go fish. That's cool.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. All right. Last call. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, I get to be the last call tonight,
Gramps.
huh?
See how that is? I can name that tune in 2 notes.
Meant to be.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Gramps, how are you?
So I got my I got my order of the flatlines in the color that should be known on the website as the Gramps chartreuse blackback. But
this is true.
I think our last fishing day of the year, most likely, because we got to sell kayaks and get re-rigged with new kayaks for the upcoming, is probably going to be on Friday. We got a decent day. We're going to go hit the river. Obviously, I'm going to have my lunker sticks and my new flat lines in that I just got in perfect timing. Looking forward to really putting a smack down with those and then some of the other baits this time of year in the river. One last fish effort to chase some smallies. The largies are pretty much pulled off and harder to find in deeper water. So we're going to go make one last river run trying to catch some smallies. But wanted to let you know, I was looking over the flat lines that I got in the box because I got the cracks and the green sexy. And then when I got my order in with my color, I was like, oh. And anybody who watched my video last night and understands the power of this color in stained water and how it got me out of halfway back in the field into the top 30 in the KBF championships understands the power of this color and why I trust it so much. So if you've got stained water, this is the color you need to be throwing 100%. So we're going to go beat up the lunker sticks in the river, try to catch some smallies before closing it down. We might be going out and doing some power pant fishing and stuff like that over the winter, but we'll keep at it. But I also want to know, man, when are we going to see some restocks of the tungsten? That's one of my favorite deals on Monster Bass that I talk about all the time. And I know it's probably hard to get. You guys are in resupply time too, but I figure it's got to be coming because this time of year where people are going to shop you to death because it's spending season.
am I out? You should have everything.
In the smaller weights, which is really what everybody loves, the smallest weights, because when we throw them on Texas rigs and we're throwing them on those little like bug baits and so forth that we love to drag on the bottom, those smallest tungsten are the most popular by far, that you'll probably sell more than anything combined. You know what I mean?
Oh, you weren't joking. I am out.
Yeah, he knows. And hey, I'm going to throw in the California Delta guys. We need some big weights. We need some 1 ounce, 1.5, 1 1/4, 2. So we'll talk about that after the show.
Okay.
Yeah, them boys are out there punching, and we're out here dragging in fast moving rivers and strip nets and such.
No, I'm with you. The smaller, the better. It allows that bait. Like I fish in a lake that has a lot of mud, and if you can Texas rig and keep it suspended up on that grass or that mud, that's money. So you're speaking my language.
And for those of us who fish a lot of rock and structure on the bottom, I mean, that tungsten with the sensitive rod, I mean, it's you don't need forward facing sonar. You can feel what's down there with good quality fluorocarbon and these lunker sticks. I mean, you can feel every little tape as you're coming across rocks, and you can tell the difference between wood, sand, rock, all that too.
Okay.
I know Chris knows that.
Yeah, that's it. You're the human fish finder right there. I love it. Gramps knows what's up.
Gramps, I'll tell you what. Why don't you
100%.
shoot me a Slack or an email? Tell me what sizes you want, and I'll make sure that those are coming in.
All right, homeboy, will do. All right, I just wanted to holler in before you guys got off the air tonight. Good show as usual. Sorry I haven't been in too many lives, but I've been fishing the tournaments and closing the season, and I got a ton of editing I got to do for my channel too. So Hickman Outdoors will be having more coming. Of course, we're going to be working with Monster Bass in 2024 again.
Love it. Thank you, Gramps.
Sweet. See you, Gramps.
Hey.
Oh, don't worry, Fixie. Thanks, Gramps, for calling in. Really appreciate you. I don't know that we can make this our last show. There were too many.
You got over 100 likes.
I did?
They're in the chat.
Hey.
Yeah, there's over 104 now.
All right, if everyone could do me a favor, let's try and get to 120 right now. Can everyone bang that thumbs up button really quick? And if so, Fix, go grab me another golden ticket. All right. Yeah, if we get to 120. If we don't, whatever. But we're going to have another show because I don't want to disappoint Heather. I don't want to disappoint some of these other people. We got new firemen.
Firemen. You got the firemen.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? Where you at?
Yeah. All right, so we'll be back next week. But I want to thank you guys. This reminds me of the old school days when we would just literally have shows and we would just take calls and talk about fishing the entire time, random questions. I love it. They're my favorite shows ever, and this was definitely one of my favorites, partly because Raphie wasn't here.
Yeah.
And
something to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We won't tell them. No, it went really well. It was nice. It was good chatting with you, all the callers. It was good. And
totally.
You know what? We'll let him wiggle back in, but we'll keep track of that guy.
All right. How many likes we got there, Fixie? 104? That's fine. Yeah, I'll get another golden ticket up there on the screen. All right, so the first one is Andrew Williams, M78409, and James Garrity, M73278. Shoot me an email at marketing@monsterbass.com. Picture with you and your ticket. Make sure you give me your address, because if you don't give me your address, well, then you just shared with me a picture of you and your ticket, and I don't know where to send stuff. So we didn't get to the 5 questions. I'm going to...
Did I win? Did I win? I crushed it.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you one question. Does February have 28 or 29 days next year?
28. I don't know if it's a leap year. I'm going to say 28.
It's a leap year. You're wrong. See, you would have lost.
But see, it always has 28. That's why I said 28, because it does have 28. Only sometimes it has 29.
Okay,
so
fine.
That's all right. So that's because I have 6 kids and I get those dad questions all the time.
I get it.
I played safe. I won. Yeah. That's right.
Well, congratulations. You're a winner. And thank you for we went over by about 9 minutes. I want to say thank you. I know everyone at home is grateful that we did. We got to all our callers. I feel pretty good. And think we can call it a day. What do you say?
Let's do it. Hey, it was good. It was fun. It was good chatting to people. When the dad called and he said that, like, we've made a difference being connected to Monster Bass. He gets his rod. His son's excited. Like, the good, cherishable moments. I know Fix has a baby coming, and how cool is that? I mean, your son calls. Like, fishing is amazing, and then life is even that much bigger. And we're a part of these people's lives, and it's like, those are cool moments. So I appreciate being part of that.
Yeah,
really
thank
neat.
you.
So, heck yeah.
My privilege. All right, guys, we're gonna see you next week. We will have Bear, who is the owner and designer of the spinnerbaits. We're gonna be talking about those, and he's got these new frogs. I don't know if you can see them, but these are really interesting. We'll have those out for you next week, and we'll be back with another great show. And until then, stay safe, and thank you guys so much for your support. We love you. Bye.
All right, see you guys.